Hey everyone, this is finally the last video of this series. I just wanted to congratulate you for finally programming your drone. We went through so much just to get to this moment. We went through each and every tab of the Betaflight configurator and set up everything we needed to set up for your drone to be able to fly. Oh wait, no, there's one more thing we need to do. Let's put the propellers back on. Alright, so now that we've programmed the whole drone, it's time to put the propellers back on. So over here on the cardboards that I was using to show in which direction the motors were turning, I added the numbers of the motors and the direction they should be turning in. So motors 1 and 4 turn clockwise and 2 and 3 turn counterclockwise. So I'll do one motor at a time. So we'll start by undoing motor number 1. Which is clockwise. Over here, I added numbers on the propellers, so I remember which one it is. On the propeller, there is also a arrow that shows you in which direction it's supposed to turn. So I don't know if you can see it, but maybe not. There is an arrow on it right there. So this arrow shows me that it's supposed this propeller should turn clockwise, so I'll put it on the clockwise motor right over here. We're just going to take off the, there we go, just like that, and we'll put on this propeller over here. Then we will take the bolt back. Where did it go? And we will spin it back. Also, just another thing, the bolts for the clockwise motors, to tighten them, you need to tighten them with by spinning them counterclockwise. The reason why it's like this, and some of the bolts don't tighten in the same direction, is because when the motor spins, you don't want the bolt to fly off and then lose the propeller, which is why we have it like that. Look, we've got one propeller on. Now let's do propeller number 2. Propeller number 2 is a counterclockwise motor. So we are going to take off the paper, cardboard over here. And over here I've got propeller number 2. On this propeller there is an arrow on it that points in the counterclockwise direction, so this one will go here. And then I just have to put the bolt back on. And there we go. The counterclockwise motors, the bolt will be able to get tightened in the when you spin it clockwise. There we go. There. Next one, we'll do number 3. This is another counterclockwise motor. So we need the counterclockwise propeller over here. This propeller is propeller number 3. It has a arrow pointing counterclockwise. We're just going to do this, and then we are going to tighten it too. Also, just make sure you do not have, when you do this, make sure you do not have a battery plugged, no battery plugged in, and make sure it's not plugged into Betaflight either. So it must be completely off. And when you tighten them, you must make sure that you tighten them so that the propeller does not have any space to actually move around up and down. Like right now, propeller number 3 can just move up and down freely. You don't want that. You want it to be tight enough so they don't move. I don't want to break the antenna. Just keep tightening this one. And yeah, you need a tool to tighten them, because you need to tighten them very hard. Alright, that seems good enough. Now let's do propeller number 4, which is a clockwise motor. Go, and the last propeller, which points in which direction? Clockwise. So depending on which kind of propeller you have, you might have an arrow, or it's going to say CCW or CW. CCW means counterclockwise, so you know it's going to be either motor number 1 or 4. And if it says CW, it's clockwise, so it's going to be motor 2 or 3. Let's just tighten this one. Go. Oh, not enough. I'll just spin the thing. Go. Okay, almost done. Tighten this one a little bit more. Once you can't spin them anymore, you've gone to the max, and that's what you want. Basically, your propellers cannot spin alone like that. They need to be spinning with the motor, or else when the motor spins, your propeller won't be spinning at the same time. Just keep going like that until it's super tight. There we go. We'll do the last 2 motors. There we go. That's all good. And finally, the last propeller that I need to tighten some more. And it's very important that the propellers are tight enough, or else there is a chance that the bolt comes off and then the propeller flies off. There we go. So all the propellers are tight enough. And there we go. Now you are ready to fly. Okay, so now that we've got the propellers back on, let's do a little test flight. Let's get right into it. Hey guys, so at the time of the recording, it was actually winter outside, and there was a whole lot of snow, so I wasn't actually able to go fly the drone outside, which is why I ended up having to just fly the drone in my room. I only hovered, but I don't recommend doing this, especially with a racing drone. It is very dangerous. I only did this because I wasn't able to fly it outside. So when you go test fly it, go outside or wait until you're able to go outside. So yeah, I only hovered a little bit in my room. It's not the greatest test flight, but it's enough to show a couple things. So let's move on to the test flight. So as you can see here, I can now arm the drone with the switch, which works fine. And like I said, I'm only hovering, but we are able to lift the drone off the ground, and thankfully, because we tightened the propellers enough, the propellers should not fling off. Well, a little bit too high. Right there. So you might notice that I'm having a hard time controlling the drone and making it balance straight and not go to the sides. That's not really a problem with the drone. It's really just because I didn't trim it. When it's a new drone, you usually want to start trimming it right away on your test flight, because if you don't trim it, you're going to have a very hard time controlling the drone. So yeah, the only reason why I can't control it too well is because I didn't trim it. But yeah, so we can see right now that the drone flies perfectly. I just have to trim it. Okay, so now if we look at the goggles point of view, we can arm the drone, and as you saw, there was the arm notification that appeared. Now, if we can obviously see that the VTX is working. We showed that in the VTX video. But yeah, so the image quality is very good. There is not too much distortion. We can see on the top right that there is the flight mode that I'm in, which is angle mode. Of course, I'm not going to go in horizon or acro mode when I'm inside my house. But yeah, we can see the flight mode. Bottom right, we see the time. We also see the temperature, the voltage, battery, and a whole lot of a bunch of other things that I added on the OSD. So this concludes this series. I hope you had fun learning about how to program a drone, and I hope you had fun doing it. And I hope you even have more fun flying your drone. And I'll see you guys in the next video.